हाय एवरीवन, गुड आफ्टरनून। यार मैं ना पुणे से आई हूँ और मैंने बहुत बार कैब का ट्रैवल किया विद इन 3 days, ठीक है। और उसके बाद मैं अपने घर से यहाँ पे एक ड्राई रन देने, फिर मैं होटल गई, फिर मैं वापस आई और आज सुबह से यहाँ बैठी हूँ। आई डिज़र्व अ गुड आफ्टरनून, गुड वन विद हाई एनर्जी। मज़ा नहीं आया? खाना खाया ना हम सब ने? अगर भूखे होते तब मैं आपको छोड़ देती। Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. Thank you so much for having me. A quick introduction about myself. My name is Ankita Mehra. My pronouns are she and her, and I'm 26 years old. आज के पूरे सेशन में I'm going to talk about a lot of things about my journey, and especially the topic which is being untouched in so many levels, especially in our educational institution. If you see in this slide, the world is obsessed with straightness. We are so obsessed with straightness कि मेरे को आज सुबह अपने ये कोट को प्रेस करने के लिए 15 मिनट लगे और मैं डर रही थी ये जल तो नहीं जाएगा मेरा शर्ट। I was that scared just to get straightness on my clothes. The similar kind of way people are obsessed with straight vision, straight hair, straight lines on your pant, everything super straight. And especially we don't want to go to road less travels or road which is not straight. And the similar kind of way straight as in sexuality. How many of us talk about straight as a sexuality? Nobody. So meet Ankita Mehra, who's out and proud lesbian woman who have joined this TED session with my mother who's sitting out there, and I'm going to speak my heart out about my journey because it's been a dream to be here. Thank you. Now let's talk about inclusion and exclusion. हमने हमेशा अपने दिमाग में इतनी बाइनरीज बना के रखी है। यार अंकिता तेरे शॉर्ट हेयर है तो एकदम लड़का जैसा दिखती है यार। कभी आपने पूछा अंकिता को कैसे बुलाना पसंद है? देयर आर लॉट ऑफ पीपल हु कॉन्स्टेंटली मिसजेंडर मी, एंड सो इन द केस विद पीपल हु आर वेयरिंग डिफरेंट क्लोथ्स, पीपल हु आर नॉट सेटिंग इन द बाइनरीज दैट यू आर मेड इन योर माइंड, पीपल डूइंग समथिंग एल्स विच यू डोंट थिंक इज नॉर्मल इन नेचर। वी हैव ऑलवेज फेल्ट कि हमने एक एक्सक्लूजन का वर्ल्ड क्रिएट किया हुआ है। अगर एक लड़की बाइक चला रही, ओ माई गुडनेस क्या हो गया? डिड वी जेंडर द व्हीकल्स ऑल्सो? Just imagine, we gendered the vehicles also. We have been limited for the people with disabilities in India to give them equal job opportunities. We have been biased for women who are restarting their careers as well, and women who are already working, and still there's a big gap in the leadership out there. And especially people from the LGBTQ community, जिनका तो इंटरव्यू भी अच्छे से नहीं हो पाता यार, उनके तो कॉल करते ही बोल देते हैं कि यार तुम कौन हो, आर यू श्योर कि आप लड़की बोल रहे हो, आपकी तो आवाज़ लड़की जैसी है। That's the level of exclusion we are facing in India at this moment. And not just India, it's all over the world. So we have to understand the real meaning of inclusion. Inclusion क्या है? हर एक इंसान हमारे आसपास जो होगा हमारे बाइनरीज के साथ सेट नहीं रहेगा. There will be people who will not have similar height as ours. There will not be people who will wear same size of clothes as yours. Especially when we fat shame people easily, so randomly, just in a fancy joke in a group of people thinking we are funny. No, you are hurting people so aggressively, and that is the reality at this moment in colleges and schools in India. And exclusion comes with this because every time we see Ankita, oh my God, you look like a boy. If you were a boy, I would have married you. Did I ask you to marry me? पूछा मैंने, चाहिए मुझे, नहीं करनी शादी. Did I ask you? It's just your assumption because just because I'm a lesbian, I am interested in each and every girl. And trust me, I have a really high type. Talking about LGBTQ exclusion, I want to share that LGBTQ exclusion happens in multiple places, especially schools, colleges, washrooms, family functions. And then you step into corporate. Throughout your life, you struggle just to talk about yourself. अब तो थक गई हूँ come out कर करके, समझ जाओ ना यार, मैं थक गई हूँ. कब तक मैं come out होती रहूँगी? So it talks about how we can create a world where we don't have to come out, where we don't have to stand apart from who we are. And that's where LGBTQ exclusion stands everybody. Because if you see in school, I remember my time in school, going to school wearing skirt and shirt. Oh my goodness, those 8 hours. I'm sure that you all had fun. You did not have to worry about what you're wearing. You might feel comfortable on even skirt or pant or skirt or shirt or whatsoever. But I was really uncomfortable in the dress. And we were forced to keep 2 choti in school. And I had to face so much of problem and distress for those 8 hours. I'm like, oh my God, I look so weird. I don't want to look like this. And that was the reality of a LGBTQ child feeling hate towards themselves. And why did that come? जब हम पैदा होते हैं तभी हमारे पे पिंक बलून चिपका दिया जाता है, ब्लू बलून चिपका दिया जाता है कि बेटा तुम इन बाइनरीज में ही रहो, उसके आगे तुम नहीं जा सकते. और मैं उसी बाइनरी की शिकार हूँ, मैं पिंक बाइनरी की शिकार हूँ. बट ट्रस्ट में मुझे पिंक कलर नहीं पसंद, बट स्टिल आई एम 100% वुमेन. And that's where gendering comes in place. We face exclusion in the washrooms, in the public space, in the school washrooms. I still remember stepping into school washroom, people were like, oh my God, Ankita, ये कैसे मर्दों जैसे चलती है, लड़के जैसे चलती है. Who defines a walk of a person being a walk as a feminine or masculine? I'll walk with whatever I'm comfortable with. मैं कोई भी कपड़े पहनूंगी जिसमें मैं comfortable हूँ. आपको नहीं बताने की ज़रूरत है कि मेरी वॉक किसी और पर्सन की वॉक की तरह है. एंड यही एक्सक्लूजन, स्पेशली नाउ इफ़ आई स्टेप इन टू द वॉशरूम्स, इवन इफ आई हैव अचीव सो मच इन लाइफ, स्टिल इफ आई गो टू वॉशरूम विद माई पेरेंट्स और माई मदर और माई सिस्टर, व्हेन आई स्टेप इन टू एनी एयरपोर्ट वॉशरूम, फर्स्ट दे गेट स्कैर्ड लाइक आई एम अ गोस्ट और समबडी. एंड उसके बाद ऊपर से नीचे स्कैन करेंगे टू वैलिडेट इफ आई एम अ गर्ल और अ बॉय. जस्ट इमेजिन स्टेपिंग इन टू वॉशरूम, गेटिंग स्कैन फ्रॉम टॉप टू बॉटम टू वैलिडेट who you are as a gender. And that's why I started my talk with my pronouns as she and her. People from the LGBTQ community face a lot of exclusion in the interviews as well when they go to corporates. And I still remember my short hair has been an issue and a gossip controversy in the offices. I have been an out and proud person in the college itself. And I have seen that Ankita Mehra, who is professional, नहीं बोलेंगे. Ankita Mehra lesbian है, वो बोलेंगे. Because Ankita Mehra का lesbian उसका identity बन गया है. उसका तो सेक्सुअलिटी है यार, वो ऐसे थोड़ी ना बोलूँगा ए सुन ना तू स्ट्रेट है ना. डू वी टॉक लाइक दैट? नो. और टू हेट्रोसेक्सुअल है, राइट? वी नेवर टॉक लाइक दैट. एंड येस एवरीबडी, स्ट्रेट इज अ रॉन्ग वर्ड. वी स्टे homosexual and heterosexuals, and that is where LGBTQ exclusion comes in place. Who's this woman you see on the screen? Oh my goodness, I used to look like this. But okay, we meet Ankita Mehra. I'm going to share my journey of being an LGBTQ child and a person. I actually followed the binaries of the world which they have said to me, being somewhat what I was not, curling my hair even though I'm very, very uncomfortable, going to the malls, forcing myself to take selfie because I had to change my profile picture on Facebook, and standing in a group of my singing school friends where we went for group singing, and I had to wear sari because I'm a girl. I was really uncomfortable that day. I literally was not focusing, and that was the reason I excluded myself from the activities in school. If you see next, this is my farewell. The first picture is of my farewell where I am standing with my good friend from school, and they forced us to wear suit, and that was a dress code that day. And I was still very, very uncomfortable. I was forced to keep long hair. If you see the second picture, I tried to love my body, love myself, and love the binaries from the world. But trust me, this was just a phase for 6 months where I tried my best to fit into what people wanted from me. But if you could see the second picture, even though there's a beautiful smile on my face and I would literally date myself, but still, I'm not happy inside. Now, this is another picture of my school competition. And if you could notice my fist, can you notice my fist at once? I was really uncomfortable. I wish there was no dress code that day. And just I wanted to wear was a cool t-shirt and cool jeans along with good sneakers, and that's who I am. But that makes me less of a girl? No. So now I was forced to be somebody who I was not. And being in school, as you see, I have been forced by a lot of people. I was bullied by my classmates. I was bullied by my teachers. A lot of my teachers said that you are doing this because you want attention of boys. Well, that's the last thing I want to do, just because you assume. And I have seen that the teachers thought I'm a very bad student just because I used to walk in a different way and I was little bold. And even मेरे को पता है आज के बच्चे के साथ उनकी मम्मियाँ hang out नहीं करने देंगी मेरे साथ. There were times that in my school, few of my friends' mothers have told them not to hang out with me because they thought that I will turn them gay. And the last thing I want to say is I hang out with my heterosexual friends all the time. They couldn't turn me straight. So yeah, I had questions about myself. पहले तो पता ही नहीं था 9th क्लास तक कि एक लेस्बियन नाम का कोई वर्ड भी होता है. एंड आई वॉज कम्प्लीटली अनअवेयर कि लेस्बियन तरह का कोई भी वर्ड होता है. मुझे लगा मैं पागल हूँ, मुझे कोई प्रॉब्लम है, मुझे कोई ट्रीटमेंट चाहिए, लिटरली. एंड दिस इज द स्टोरी ऑफ क्लास 9th. Until I fell in love with one of my teachers. Okay, not going to touch there, but I felt attracted towards her, and that was the time I realized there's something really wrong with me. My huge crush from the childhood is Sushmita Sen, and she's still my crush, and I love her. I just want to say that was the woman who made me realize that it's okay to feel loved. That feeling of love I got when I saw Sushmita Sen for the first time. And just because of this confusion, I tried telling my friends that, hey, तूने मैं हूँ ना में सुष्मिता सेन देखी? They told me, यार हमने तो शाहरुख खान ही देखा. बाद में मुझे दिमाग में आया मैंने शाहरुख खान एक भी बार नहीं देखा. और वही स्टोरी थी मेरी, मैंने शाहरुख खान एक भी बार नहीं देखा. यार कुछ तो प्रॉब्लम है यार. और वो प्रॉब्लम मैंने चुपचाप रखी, मैंने सबके सामने नहीं बताई. Until in class 9 it became heavy on me. Then I was crying one day at home, and my sister was like, something is really wrong with you, and you could see my sister here. So my sister told me that तेरे साथ कुछ तो गलत है, कुछ हो रहा है क्या? I said, Anshu, I need a treatment. I want to be cured. She's like, what problem? You look fit. I should be cured. I said, what happened? She asked me. Then I told her that I feel attracted towards girls. You're a lesbian? There's a word like this? There's a word like this for real. And that was the time I got to know there's a word called lesbian. For me, first 5 days I was extremely happy that I don't have any problem. Then after 5 days, I got to know, oh my God, this is such a big problem. Like in this world of heteronormative ideals and images, fitting yourself in where you don't even know one person like you is a difficult part. And that's where my sister supported me. And if you could look at me in childhood, I used to dress in a very different way. Like I was not wearing suit or skirt. I was very comfortable wearing pajamas or kurtas. And you could see I look like a really cute boy, like as in the binaries. But yes, beautiful girl, if you could see over here of my childhood. Then what I did was, as I knew that it's a difficult journey for me to accept about myself, I started focusing a lot in my career. So if you see over here, from this to class 10th, I was a very basic student. My whole mental energy was exhausted by my sexuality, my questioning, and all the problems that I was facing of exclusion. And then I decided, after my sister told me that there's only one way to escape this is education and good job. And I come from a lower middle class family. My father is in Air Force, and he was the only one who used to earn. My mother is a homemaker. But I had immense support from all of them, and my father told me that he will educate me as much as he can. So that was the time I started taking my studies seriously. In class 10th, I had 10.6 sorry, 10.6, oh my God. I had 6.8 CGPA, and out of, I did not have 100%, I'm sorry. Will you add me in? Okay. I had 6.8 CGPA, still world, please accept me. And after that, I was like, should I go to humanities? And I knew one of my, hey, Ankita, humanities में जाएगी, बड़े गंदे बच्चे जाते हैं उधर, बहुत गलत है humanities, सब failures जाते हैं उधर. काश मैंने humanities ले ली होती यार, मैं अच्छा content लिख पाती. But still, I chose commerce, and I went to school. I had a transfer of my father, and I went to a new school, and it was a new environment, and I promised myself that I'm going to dedicate all my things to education because I've already lost a lot of time. Class 11th was my new start. I started studying a lot. I still remember I used to sleep just for a few hours. I used to take extra classes, and then I put in so much efforts that in class 12th I got 82.8%, and the subject I used to fail in, like accounts and business studies, I used to fail in class 11th. I scored 95 and 95 both of in those exams. So that's how my career journey started. I started believing in myself, and I did not take the people's validation to tell me how perfect I can be, and I think that was the reason I could get confidence. And आपको वो स्लाइड जल्दी दिखा दी मैंने. अच्छा, college maybe all 3 years I was a topper, but still, as I want to talk about my journey in career, I have studied in a tier 2 college in Nasik, and few of my friends whom I've come out to, I break down my coming out journey in 3 parts. First is coming out to myself. So class 9th to college time, I still was coming out to myself to accept the way I am. First I had hate because we are also homophobic when we are homosexuals. Just because of the representation, there's no books, nothing which is shown to us. But now if you look at me, I accept me truly, and that takes a lot of time. So that's where I came out to myself. Second is coming out to your closest ones and friends. I had friends whom I've come out to, and few of the friends have taken it very well. Few of them are sitting here right now, and few of them who have not taken it so well have communicated about my sexuality without my consent, and it became a day or two controversy in the college. And since the day one, I was bullied on the way I used to look, the way I used to walk, and there were some seniors who have literally threatened me that they will hit me if I'll not be more girly to them. And still, taking all the negative emotions aside, I continued my journey. Final year of my college, I went to roadies because I knew I was getting bullied a lot everywhere, and it was literally impacting my mental health. And final year, I went to roadies not with the intention to be a part of the journey, but at least sharing my experience as a queer person and how much bullying I get. And that's where Neha Dubia, all those individuals, if you see on the screen, have supported me and told me and gave me a grand salute because it was more courageous. And it gave me a new life because I actually replied to all my bullies like, you are there, I'm right here. No one can hurt me anymore. I was in that zone. So I would like to say bullying is real, and it happened with me. And from that day, I have not taken a step back. I've done multiple internships. I have done more and more college talks. I've participated in debates, and then started working in a call center when I started my career. I took multiple risks to work with small startups and make it big. And now, at the age of 26, I'm in the leadership role of a good organization. And I've done more than 350 plus sessions for corporates and creating awareness around LGBTQ community in India. The experiences that I have of corporate, of being biased on the basis of clothing, the experiences in the washroom, the exclusive policies, the people who are facing discrimination on the basis of their disability, mental health is taken as a negative. You can't talk about your heart out in corporates about this, and my intention was to not stop there and create as much as awareness as I could. So as we all see that you all have a lot of privileges, right? Being a queer person, we have a lot of exclusion, and through the point that I'm standing in right now, standing in front of you to talk about TED, we still don't have our adoption rights, we still don't have marriage rights, and we're still struggling to get jobs. Especially I'm the privileged one as I'm talking hard about this. But out of so many people of LGBTQ community, especially in Tier 2 and Tier 3 cities, are forced to get married to someone that they don't want to get married to. Transgender people are treated very badly, and trans crimes are happening a lot in India. And that's where having that privilege that you are not from the LGBTQ community, understanding that and working towards it. And how to work upon this is, my father is not an LGBTQ person, but he became my ally. He stood in front of me to protect me from homophobia, biphobia, transphobia. So that's where we have to stop bullying, and thank you so much, everyone.